Hey, hello and welcome back students. Welcome to the MEG-03 playlist. In this video, we are going to cover about Joseph Conrad, Heart of Darkness. So without any further wait, let's start with the introductions. A journey into darkness. Now let's imagine a man traveling deep into a mysterious land. At first, it looks like a physical journey through Africa, but slowly the journey becomes psychological and moral. The deeper he travels, the more he discovers greed, violence, cruelty, darkness inside human beings. This is the world of Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. This novel is not simply about Africa. It is mainly about colonialism, human corruptions, moral darkness, and the collapse of civilization. Now let's talk on what is this novel about. The novel follows Charles Marlow, who travels into Congo during European colonial rule. His mission: find a mysterious man named Kurtz. At first, Marlow believes Europeans are bringing civilizations. Imperialism is noble, but gradually he realizes colonialism is based on exploitation and violence. Now let's talk on Marlow, the narrator. One of the most repeated topics. Marlow is thoughtful, observant, philosophical. He narrates the story from memory. This narrative technique is important because readers see events through Marlow's changing understanding. At first, he is curious. Later, he becomes disturbed and morally uncomfortable. Now let's talk on colonialism in the novel. The novel strongly criticizes European imperialism. Europe claims it is civilizing Africa, but Marlow sees cruelty, greed, forced labor, suffering. The real goal is exploitations for profit. Conrad exposes hypocrisy of colonialism. Now let's talk on what does darkness mean. This is the biggest exam topic. Darkness does not simply mean Africa. It symbolizes evil, moral corruptions, greed, violence inside humans. Conrad suggested darkness exists without civilization itself. This is the deepest idea of the novel. Now let's talk on Kurtz, the central symbol. Kurtz is one of the most important characters. At first, people describe him as intelligent, talented, idealistic. But when Marlow finally meets him, Kurtz has become morally destroyed. He controls people violently, obsessed with power, ivory, domination. Why Kurtz is important? Kurtz represents what happens when humans lose moral limits. Away from society and law, his inner darkness becomes visible. His famous final words are, "The horror, the horror." Here is the meaning, realization of his own moral collapse. This is very important for exams. Now let's talk on Africa in the novel. Africa is shown as mysterious, powerful, and frightening. But this creates debate. Critic Achebe argued Conrad presents Africa negatively. This is an important repeated question. You can mark in most important. Now let's talk on Achebe's criticism. Achebe says Africans are not fully developed characters. Africa becomes background for European fears. If I am mispronouncing this word, so you can comment it down the correct pronunciation. Now continue. Many modern critics agree partly, but others argued Conrad was actually criticizing European imperialism. Now let's talk on balanced exam answers. Here's the safest answer. Yes, problematic representations exist, but the novel also strongly attacks colonial brutality. This balanced approach scores well. Now let's talk on journey. Journey as symbol. Marlow's river journey symbolizes journey into human mind and morality. The deeper he travels, the more he understands civilization is fragile. Humans can become savage easily. Now let's talk on civilization versus savagery. One of the Conrad's major ideas, civilized society is only a thin surface. Underneath, humans still contain violence, greed, darkness. Kurtz becomes proof of this. Now let's talk on atmosphere and style. The novel feels dark, mysterious, dreamlike. Conrad uses symbolism, ambiguity, psychological descriptions. This creates modernist complexity. Now let's talk on the central themes. Number 1. Colonialism. Imperialism is exploitative and cruel. Number 2. Darkness in human nature. Humans contain moral corruption. Number 3. Civilization versus savagery. Civilized identity can collapse easily. Number 4. Isolation. Power without limits destroy morality. Number 5. Moral ambiguity. Nothing is completely simpler or clear. Now let's talk on important symbols. River Congo. Journey into darkness and inner mind. Darkness. Evil, corruption, moral decay. Ivory, greed and exploitations. Kurtz, collapsed civilizations and uncontrolled ambition. Now let's talk on how to write 20-mark answer. In the introduction, you need to introduce Conrad and colonial context. In the body, you should discuss Marlow, colonialism, Kurtz, symbolism of darkness, and Achebe's criticism. In the conclusion, highlight moral and psychological darkness. Now, let's talk on what the novel teaches us. This novel teaches us civilization is not always morally superior. Greed and power can destroy humanity. Darkness exists not only in places but inside human beings themselves. The novel becomes not just a colonial story but an exploration of human morality. So that's it from this video of MEG-03 British novel Joseph Conrad, Heart of Darkness. I'll see you in the next one. Tab tak ke liye bye bye.